This woman brings up a very, very, very important.
I just discovered Stephanie St. Clair, the woman who's responding to this comment, and I'm absolutely in love with her. If you're not following her and you're on a healing journey, I highly recommend you stop what you're doing right now. Go watch that video, give her a follow. She's amazing. So the commenter is basically saying, how can you say that we should love life and that life loves us when there's so many horrific things happening every day? Children being raped, war, murder, all the things. And I love this comment because I lived with that anger and that question of how can you be optimistic in a world that's so horrible most of my life? You see, my grandfather was a monster. He abused my mom most of her childhood, and I learned about this when I was relatively young, and so it tainted my view of the world and of who we can trust and who we can't. And just like this commenter, I had so much anger inside of me. You know, people who seem so optimistic and so full of love and joy. I thought, how can you be so happy when there are people being raped and murdered as we speak? Like, do you not see what is happening? Ooh, I was such a Debbie Downer. And so, as any child would do, I played the blame game. You know, I blamed my grandfather for everything horrible in my mom's life and everything horrible in my life. It was all his fault, right? And then one day, I asked myself this question: what would have to happen to me to make me behave in the same way? Look, I know you're a good person. I know you would never, right? But go there. Go there for just a second. What would have to happen to you? Like, what atrocity, what dysfunction, what torture, what would have to happen to you to make you behave in that way? Right? So I did this. And then I wanted to put the blame there, right? I said, oh, well, something must have happened to him in his childhood to make him behave that way, right? Or maybe like he was born with like, you know, a dysfunction or something that would make him behave that way. So that's why. Well, so then I shifted my blame to that. Well, then I thought, okay, well, what caused that, right? And I kept going back and back and back until I realized there's nowhere to place the blame. Blame does not serve us here. And so what does serve us? What always has? Love and compassion.